I Exaggerate My Brushes with Fame, Kevin's new book that highlights your absolutely extraordinary ability as an artist. Your paintings are seriously, man. The first time I saw this, I was like, "That's not the Kevin I know. Doesn't have this ability." And then
I hear that a lot. That's not the Kevin I know.
Yeah, I mean, what, dude?
It's so beautiful.
Dude, like
Tom Petty.
It's ridiculous.
Well, I tell stories about each person I painted, like my interaction with them, or most of them. And if I didn't meet them ever, like Freddie Mercury, I will just muse about being in garage bands or going to concerts.
Did you paint him pre-AIDS or like when you which era of him?
As a child, actually.
Oh,
as
really?
a child, yeah.
Oh, he didn't have AIDS then.
It was just teeth. He had a lot of teeth back then.
Big teeth.
Yeah, he had a walker for the teeth.
So rude. What about Bourdain? He was one of my favorites.
Anthony Bourdain is in there. I did not know him, but I found him very interesting, the life he had. It seemed like he should be perfully happy, but he wasn't.
I know.
Much like Tom.
Much like Tom. Can I tell you, though, is that I don't know if people know this, how talented you are, but I would always see on your Instagram.
I've only been doing stand-up for like 40 years.
No, I mean painting. As a painter.
I know, I kid.
And so on your Instagram, and I fell in love with a portrait you did of Howard Stern. And then you so graciously, one day, it just showed up in the mail.
Awesome.
And I treasure it so much. And I have to thank you for it because I have it in my office in our home and I look at it every day and I find something new in it every single time I look. You're so talented and whimsical and you really, I think, bring out the best in people. You see the best.
I bring out the worst in people. Actually, I exaggerate their features. But thank you for that. I was really flattered when you told me that, and because back then a lot of people hadn't seen my work, and when they started seeing it, and then you were so nice to compliment me. Not so much Tom, but
excuse me.
Tom doesn't give them out.
I was extra.
He's
I was
stingy
very
with
complimentary.
cuddling and compliments.
Yeah, because once you give them out, it's never enough.
No.
Yeah.
They want more.
Do you cuddle? Are you a cuddler?
I do cuddle. I have a mountain bike that I love, and I'm on that thing all the time. I saddle up. But I am a cuddler.
You are?
Do you know what happened last night to me in my dream? And this hasn't happened in a while. It was a dream where I was fighting somebody for a basketball. They were holding on to it, and I knew I had to jerk it away from them, but I had to wait long enough with my hands on it when they would relax a little bit. And I jerked it away, and I woke up and I was holding my pillow. I jerked my pillow out from under my head.
What? Is this real?
This is real.
And you've had this dream before because you said it hasn't happened in a while.
No, I haven't had a realistic dream like that where it segued into real life.
Okay.
But this one, and then I took the pillow and just dribbled it to the bathroom, went to bed. I'm kidding about that part, but the other part is true.
I wonder what the dream interpretation would be of that, which I always love.
Tom, I don't think there's anything to interpretation.
Oh, bullshit.
Did you never been in therapy? You ever did psychotherapy?
I've done therapy, but I never fell asleep during therapy, so I never had to analyze that dream. But
stealing ball.
I think it's good for people though if they believe in that. Just like religions, whatever gets them through.
Whatever gets you through.
I think it's fun to also analyze dreams.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't think
Yeah.
there's anything to it. But.
I mean, I think that there's people that are good at the dream analysis. That's what I'm saying. I can't fucking do it.
It's the same with psychics.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're really entertaining because if you sit down with somebody and they talk about you for a half hour, that's kind of nice.
It is nice.
Yeah, but the psychic thing, I mean, that's just somebody basically entertaining you. But dream analysis is usually if it's a trained person, they're trained to, analyze the subconscious and how our brain is doing something when we dream. So a lot of times the interpretations are pretty fascinating.
Yeah. I suppose.
Kevin, if you were to draw my husband, I assume you would start with these big old meanies here, right? Because like those mean, nasty things.
You're talking about the eyebrows?
And then how the nose kind of, as he ages, cranks down even further and further and further. And then, of course, the scowl, the down-facing lips. And then don't forget the dark under-eye bags.
Let's not do the body, okay? Let's just stick to the face. That's what I need. I need somebody to point out the features.
Yeah.
Although sometimes it's easy. I live in a nightmare now since I started doing this because I'll be walking down the street with pedestrians passing me and I'm looking at everyone like I'm in a fun house. Oh, they have big nose. They've already exaggerated them. They look so like deformed and it's scary.
Have people that you have painted, obviously some of these people, have you had people go like, oh, I love this? Like, I love what you did? that one?
Yes. Originally, I didn't because I wasn't showing people. I just put them on my Instagram, and I never heard from anybody. Mm-hmm. But then I did one of Rami Malek.
Oh, he's great.
And Jimmy Kimmel loves my sketches too. So Rami Malek was a guest on his show, and he showed him my caricature of him, and
on Jimmy Kimmel?
on Jimmy Kimmel, he held it to the camera, and I'm like, oh no, because I don't know what these people are going to think. And he looked at it, and he said, Kevin Nealon is no longer my friend. But I really never was to begin with. So,
but what a great face Rami has.
He's got a great face, those eyes and the squareness of it all.
So is that what you see? So you're looking at the face, what's the first thing you're going to look at?
I see the eyes, I see the jaw, I see the squareness, like I said, his top of his head.
Yeah.
And then the eyes are really interesting.
Add
I'm not
Kevin Nealon to your search.
Sure what...
Maybe Kevin Nealon, since he painted it.
He wrote Rami Malek charcuterie.
You're looking it up on Google.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Charcuterie. He thinks that's the word for caricature.
Okay.
Charcuterie.
All right.
Charcuterie. I mean...
no, yeah, it was Kimmel, yeah.
Well, this could take
you know what? I
time.
guess they didn't really make a big deal about it, so
No,
it's
they
not
did.
up there.
I've seen it. I've seen the clip.
Oh, you have seen the clip?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, we'll find it later tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my.
Oh, that was quick.
Yeah.
Let's see how this fucking goes. Oh, no, this could take.
Ooh, Daniel Craig and him.
Oh,
Daniel
nice.
Craig
I
would
like
be-
Daniel Craig.
Did he done his face?
Not yet, no.
His face is already kind of
It is.
caricature.
I've seen caricatures of him, and he's
There
got
we
a very
go.
small chin.
Oh, that's
Yes.
fantastic.
That's rad.
Yes.
You
Definitely
nailed it, though.
nailed
I like
it.
drawing the hands, though, too, holding up the picture.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part. That looked so realistic. They're his hands.
Yes.
And
yes.
he has really big hands. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that.
He does. He has huge hands.
What is this art form? It's so funny. Like, what is the origin of this? Of taking someone's worst features and then...
It comes from a little tribe and in the deepness of Australia.
But I mean, is this like a fair art? Like, who's the first guy to be like, you know what, you got a big nose,
Probably
fuck
Da
you.
Vinci. All these abstract artists from a long time ago. I'll tell you what, I was studying Impressionists for a while, and I would go to the museum in France, the Louvre and all that. And I read up on Monet, and Monet used to do caricatures.
Did he really?
Yeah, he would do caricatures. Back then it was a lot of political stuff or commentary. But it was interesting to see how he did that. So I've always loved caricature artists. When I was a kid, I live in Germany for a while. My father worked for a helicopter company, and we were on military bases a lot. And I would go into the commissary, and one day I go for a napkin, and somebody had drawn on the napkin a picture of like a private, like, you know, with a hat on and a big nose and a chin. I thought, that is so cool. And I practiced drawing that for a long time. And then from that, my parents had 2 framed caricatures of themselves over the bureau in my bedroom. So when I laid down at night, I would subconsciously look at that and stare at it and see what the guy did. You know, it was a great caricature artist that did it. And then I just started doodling all my life. Table reads at SNL, I would sketch the person across from me, whether it was Farley or Dana, whoever. And I sketch people on airplanes, sleeping with their mouth open usually.
Yeah.
I never show it to them. And then about 2 or 3 years ago, I saw this guy was giving lessons in England on caricatures. It was 50 euros a lesson, which did not cover my flights there every week. But no, so, you know, I Zoomed with him, and he kind of taught me some of the basics about it.
But you had a pretty good baseline, though, for it
Yeah,
already?
I did. Yeah. But I see these guys on Instagram, and they're amazing. And I want to be like that. But also, like stand-up, you want to develop your own style.
Sure.
You want to come up with your own thing. So it's like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
And when I was done with this book, I needed a break.
Yeah.
Because I was doing it nonstop.
When you sit down to first sketch or, you know, paint, something like this, how long is a typical session? Like if you're going to do something?
It depends. It's gotten less and less. But for my own caricature, it took me like 3 weeks because I kept doing it and then throwing it away and doing it because it's hard for me to, to
That was
find
such
out.
an aggressive lick that you just gave your finger. I felt it. Did you?
think you noticed.
Oh yeah.
So that's me right
That's
there.
3 weeks?
That was probably, but I don't know how long it was. I would take it with me on the road, and in hotel rooms, I would do it. I would sketch it.
Oh, that's so funny.
It just took a long time for each one.
You know what's so great about caricatures, and I think why I enjoy them so much, because my parents too had them. You go to the fair and it's like you're looking for the truth, and then when somebody else points it out, oh yeah, that's the truth right there. It's such a great thing.
Subconsciously, you're looking at somebody, and you know that they have a big nose, but it's just kind of that's the way they look, and it's not. You don't think it's a big nose because you're used to looking at them.
Yeah.
So this kind of captures that. And the other thing is during the pandemic, we weren't going out to do stand-up. We weren't getting laughs. I never took that much time off in my life. I'm sure no comic had.
Yeah.
And I found that by doing these caricatures and posting them on Instagram, it was nonverbal comedy. People would see it and they would laugh and they get a kick out of it. And so I thought that was kind of like, filling my void.
So cool.
Thank you.
And so universal. And that's true.
Thank you for watching that highlight here from YMH Studios. That was a highlight or a clip, whichever word you prefer. You watched it, and there are so many more little bite-sized episode things. They're just click them. Maybe it's someone screaming or bleeding. Maybe it's just laughing at someone, making fun of them.